Hi friends, it's Fatmata here from Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Art, and in our video today I wanted to tell you about an art form that I absolutely love, and that is spoken word, slam poetry, poetry in general. I just love when people have a way with words, and I have been an admirer of the art form for more years than I can count. In my local area, we have a place called Busboys Poets within the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, and it is inspired by the poet and former busboy Langston Hughes, and it's just an incredible environment. They have artwork up on the walls by local artists. They also have open mic nights. So when one of our English teachers gathered together the slam poetry team at my school and took them down to actually recite some poetry at Busboys, I needed to tag along, of course. And when we got there, the students were a little bit nervous to grace the stage with their excellence. So I offered up my assistance, and I actually got up on stage myself to deliver a riveting poem. And what do you think I wrote a poem about, friends? Any guesses? I wrote a poem about buttons, about buttons. So I wanted to share this with you in light of my love of the art form of sewing, as well as my love of slam poetry. So if you ever thought that you've heard every poem out there, here's another one for you. Did you ever think you were gonna have a button poem? Here it is. Before I begin, I do want to say that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my stitch. Okay, so let's just be kind in the comments. I am going to have my little booklet because I'm not one of those slam poets that has it memorized just yet, but I'll try not to use it as much. When people find out I'm a seamstress, they often wonder why I seem stressed at the mention of a button. Okay, and truth be told, I really don't have a problem with the button. It's really the buttonhole. It'll have me in front of my machine. This seat feels more like a stump than my usual throne. I'm so thrown and vexed. I feel perplexed. All right, so I'm about to reach in deep into the back of this drawer. Ain't read this manual in a while. Ain't sewn with needle and thread since I was a child. But here we go. It isn't as easy as it might seem. You have to properly cut and grade your seams. I usually give myself an A for effort. What people don't know is how much commotion putting in this buttonhole can cause. I mean, I've been sewing for over a decade and still it gives me pause. Buttonholes meant to serve as harbor when buttons come to shore. I've read my instructions and did a practice on some scraps and still I'm unsure. Let me tell you about the level of concentration it takes to get this buttonhole just right. I swear I've picked up 6 occupations, but just to master this technique. Ever wonder how to get a button to look so neat? I feel part architect and part artist, you know, when I'm deciding where every single button should go. I turn airplane controller more like composer. Watch me wave my hands on my command. Watch this fabric sing. No, more like watch this fabric dance. Sometimes needle jump up and down like jetés in ballet. Other days feel more like tip tap or tap dance, and some days feel more like Greek stomp. Hold my breath as garments emerge. I become a doctor ready to surge or ready for surgery. Scalpel in hand as we begin to make this incision with precision. Seam ripper sinks into cotton almost like scalpel in skin. Then apply my fray check, because once I'm done to heck, won't be no frays left, okay? Do you know how awful it feels to ruin your garment at the very end, after hours spent and you can't make amends? So here's my completed garment. I offer it as tribute, I give to thee. I've sent my feed dog, so please come willingly. Don't sink. Here's another foot for balance. Don't fold. I'm afraid you'll get damaged. Don't tear. If you don't make it through, surely I wouldn't bear it. Why am I so pressed over these buttons anyway? Well, there's something about a button that just makes you feel really dressed up, like buttons in the cuff of a sleeve, like it's like those button-down shirts Daddy used to wear to interviews, or those polo shirts my brother always bought in twos. It's like on blazers, on coats, the ones that always come with those extra buttons, right? The ones that Grandma used to buy from Land's End or Chico's. You ever wonder why you don't get no extra button in cheap clothes? It's because it's a mark of quality, like an insurance policy or maybe even a guarantee, like, girl, you gonna have this garment for a while, okay? It's made to last. These seams might get weary, but they won't happen fast, okay? Your granddaughter will be wearing this coat even after you've passed. So think about this as money well spent. Think about who you might pass this down to as inheritance. But for some reason, if these threads ever do get torn, you can take this to your tailor and tell them that we sent you. We gave you some extra buttons for the cause. They'll put them in, make it look brand new as if it's never been worn. I have a collection of my grandma's buttons. She was a collector. When we shed threadbare clothes like skin, shirts became organ donors in Grandma's hands. On her command, the garments turned carcass, but she would always harvest these buttons before they were discarded. I love a good button, and though they can cause me some stress, I always seem like it's worth it because people seem impressed, and then they ask me, did you make that dress? And I say, oh, hell yeah. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my little button poem. Let me know your most interesting, exciting, or awful button experience in the comments down below. I hope you're enjoying VEDA and hanging out with me daily, and I will see you tomorrow. Stay creative, folks. Bye-bye.